I was just reading this research from Bank of America, and they highlighted what's been going on in the artificial intelligence race. I'm gonna link it below if you're interested, so that you can read it yourself. But the thing is this, right? When it comes to this whole artificial intelligence race and investing, okay, because that's where I'm really gonna focus on. As a retail investor, if you're the type of person that wants your money to grow, okay, if you want to see your money double, triple, right, making 1,000%. It is going on right now. I mean, if you're someone that has invested in Nvidia for over a few years, you probably have seen the growth in your portfolio. If you're someone that has invested in AMD, you probably have seen some growth as well. But here's the deal. Why are these companies spending so much money on this whole artificial intelligence structure? Okay, they're building data centers. They call the hyperscalers the ones that are trying to or stay ahead of this race. We're talking about companies like Google. You have Amazon. You have all these other big companies spending so much money, and there are so many small companies as well that are spending so much money on this. Okay, just to give you some perspective, OpenAI, all right, the company that owns ChatGPT, they spent over $700,000 per day in running the ChatGPT infrastructure, all right, the systems that support it. So let me give you an idea of what this will look like, all right, or what is already happening. And it's slowly happening. They haven't really captured the profits just yet. What they're doing right now is front loading the cost, building the system. So what they're trying to do right now is just deploying the systems that will catapult their earnings, their efficiency, their savings over the next decades, precisely. And they're, according to the picture, and maybe I will try to put the picture up as well, we haven't even started. All they're doing right now is just building the infrastructure. They're just building data centers, right? They're developing the chips. That's what they're really doing right now. So let me give you an example of what this will look like. So imagine you have a company that has over, let's say, 600 employees, maybe 700 employees, right? And these people are customer service agents. What they would normally do is you call and they answer your questions, provide solutions to your problem. But now imagine a situation where when you call, you have this system, all right, this automated system, which is already happening. We know that already. But we now have this advanced level system in such a way that you see the work that 600 people are doing, maybe they only need 20 people to do the job, because there's a system in place that will be trained to understand the common problems that that particular company normally handles. So they would train this model or this system, okay, this AI on handling that particular problem. And of course, they will make it as versatile and as comprehensive as possible so that they won't really need a human interaction at the end of the day, other than you interacting with that system, whether through a chat message, whether through emails, whether through phone calls. The goal is that this system will be trained in such a way that you don't have to interact with anybody. Now, guess what this will do for companies? This will save them a lot of money. They won't have to pay more to people in benefits. They won't have to pay people in sick time and all these other things that people are entitled to right now, that they lobby for through unions and all that. All those things will not be in place anymore. It is scary to me when I think about it, because the world is going to change so much in the next decade. So between 2025 and 2035, there's so much will change, and we have not even really gotten to that next stage just yet. Like I said, right now what these companies are doing is they are trying to build the systems. They're spending so much on chips, they're spending so much on data centers, they're spending so much on the training of the models, because at the end of the day, you can't just use ChatGPT. It's not just ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is not trained specifically to handle a specific or a unique business, for example. So the goal will be that they will have these SLMs, or I believe they are called small language models, and the goal is that they will be trained to handle specific roles. As maybe a customer service agent, imagine you have another system or a model that handles that. So you literally are swapping out people for these models or these systems or this AI. And at the end of the day, all these AIs will also be able to interact, because at the end of, you would have trained them to so well to be able to integrate them into your business. Now, don't get me wrong, on the company side, it will save them a ton of money. And I guess that's good for them. But for us humans, common people that wants to get a job, work, make money, we need to really think about the future. We need to really think about how this would impact us. 21% of freelance jobs are lost because of what is already happening, because of what ChatGPT is already doing already. What are we doing as investors? Because I really can't talk about how this will affect everybody. But what I know is that there's some roles or there's some jobs that will be cut out because of this AI race. But as investors, what are we doing? All right. And the first thing I will say is that if you're not investing in the stock market, okay, you will miss out a lot. Think about what happened during the inception of the internet. All right, think about when Amazon started. Think about when Apple first started. I remember when iPhone launched. It was weird to not have a button on a phone. If you are old enough, you probably have seen or have heard people being against Apple, not believing in what they could do. Why? Because why would I have a phone that I couldn't type? Because that was the age of Nokia and BlackBerry, right? You could type, you could punch numbers, you could, there's a tactile feedback in your interaction with the phone. But when you have a phone without any buttons, there's none of that, right? But here we have Apple is what it is today. So back to my artificial intelligence race, all right? These companies are spending so much money. Imagine what they could do if that money wasn't spent, if they were putting that money back into their business, all right? If they were putting that money back into their business, or if they were paying that money out to customers or to their investors rather, think about what they would have achieved in terms of their stock price, their valuation, or if they were putting that money into acquiring businesses. If you guys have noticed, not a lot of acquisition are going on right now because they are betting, most of these companies are betting on this AI race. So rather than betting on a company, they're investing so much in data centers, they're investing so much in building their chips, like Amazon is trying to do. Nvidia is building and developing faster and better chips. And the goal here at the end of the day is to provide these systems that will make their business very efficient, save them a lot of money, and make them a lot of money in the process. Because one of the most expensive things that a business will always have is just labor costs. Whether you're building, whether you are developing something, whether it's just your HR, managing benefits and things of that nature, those are the costs that eats up profitability. Now, this is bad for common people like you and me, because I'm also a common person. I have a job. And this is why you need to switch sides and be on the investor side, because staying on the other side as a consumer of all these products, you pay for it, they will charge you for it, they lay off a lot of people because of all this advancement in technology, and this is bound to happen. You want to be on the investor side where you stand a chance of making money in the process as well. It sounds harsh, but that's the reality of an investor. You want to invest in something that will make you money so that you don't have to work forever.